of you guys. Different experience. This is kind of the full March Madness experience. I know last year everybody was in Indy, a little bit different. The year before was in a tournament. Are you getting the full effect? Does this feel different? Does it feel like being part of March Madness?
Let's start with Zach, and then right down the line, Trevion, and then JD, please.
Yeah, I think we're still kind of getting the experience from what I've seen on the side. We're still going through. We haven't even started our practice yet. It's different during this media before practices. Obviously, last year was kind of more. You had to stay there, go for a week, quarantine earlier, so it's a completely different thing. Everyone's in the same hotel. But so far, yeah, it's definitely a different experience.
Just kind of piggyback off that. I don't think we've experienced the whole thing yet. Obviously, I've been through it. I've been through my freshman year. Just going through it last year with these guys, they kind of get a glimpse of kind of what it's like. Although it was COVID, but I think once we play our first game, I think everybody will feel, will get the full experience.
Yeah, really, it feels normal. I get to go out my room finally. Last year I couldn't, step foot out my room. So, it feels normal. And once we get open practice started, I start to feel like it's the real March Madness. So.
Hey, Jay, Greg Doyle from Indy Star. I realize perfection is not going to happen, so you're not going to get your A game, the whole team, every time. But as you look back and you look at film, what's the difference between Purdue when it's pretty good and Purdue when you're really clicking?
We're pretty good. I think, it shows glimpses of, when we turn the ball over, we make some mistakes on the defensive end. We're not as good, but, when we're really good and we're all clicking, we're all together talking on defense and, just offensively, just making the simple reads. And I think we're, the best team in the country.
Hey guys, I was chatting with Coach last night, and he kind of sat back and he said, I've been doing this for 33 years. I've never seen it all the way. I know you guys know that, and I know that's been the storyline all season, is this is a special roster, but have you had any conversations about that, of doing this for Coach Painter? It's been 42 years since Purdue's been to a Final Four, and this is the first step tomorrow.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it for him. Definitely want to make a run, for him, because he's given so much to, this team, this university. We're just gonna, give it our all every time we step out on the court. And that's what we do when we step out on the court. We give it our all for Coach Painter, and for the team. We're just gonna, try to do our best, to bring him, to his first national championship. And we're gonna work really hard to get there.
Trevion, please.
Jaden kind of covered it. Not even just Coach Painter, just doing it for ourselves. I think we deserve it. I think we've been working hard all year, and we've came short a couple of games, and a lot of games that we should have won. And this is kind of our chance to kind of prove ourselves. We've missed out on our Big Ten championship regular season, and then obviously the tournament. So just having those things happen, and we at this point, we kind of have no choice but to kind of go out there and play also.
And Zach, please.
Yeah, it's kind of off what they said. There's a lot of what we do it for. Obviously, Coach Painter is one of them. It's a big thing for us, but we do it for our families, we do it for our moms, we do it for our dads, we do it for us, we do it for Coach Painter, friends back home. There's a lot of whys on this team, but Coach Painter is definitely a big one.
Brian Newberg from GoldenBlack.com. For Zach and Trey, can you guys just talk about what's most important to making sure that your size advantage is as much of an advantage as it can be tomorrow now that the game, starts to get played a little bit smaller again, and, to make sure that your guys' advantage is as much as you can get from it. The small ball element, doesn't necessarily hurt you.
Well, just from the past couple games that we've watched so far, the early on games, even the IU game, we've been watching games, scouting, and the refs, they've been letting a lot of stuff go, and it's going to be, just from those just from watching those games, you can tell it's going to be very physical. Every game is going to be physical. So I just think if we go in and embrace the physicality of the game, we'll be fine. You know, just use our size advantage as best as possible. You know, being smart, just being disciplined, and then obviously, you know, having to guard those smaller teams. You know, for instance, Yale. You know, they're not the biggest guys in the world, but you know, they're going to force us to guard on the perimeter as big men. So, you know, if we just be disciplined, you know, we'll be fine. So.
I think our size really comes into play. Coach Brandon was talking about it in film. As long as we're physical, as long as we try to get as deep as we can, and we don't let them double us, we just get as deep as we can and finish over the top of them. That's when our size really comes into play, and we can make them pay on the offensive end for maybe some things that they might have an advantage of in terms of defense. So it's just really kind of physical. That's really it.
Olivia Ray again with Wish TV. We watched you guys last year at this time walk off the court with a lot of emotion and stunned against North Texas. Did that discussion even need to happen this year? If this can't happen again in the first round, or how much are you going to lean into the feelings you felt last March leaving Lucas Oil Stadium?
Well, I know we've been watching film on that game. At least I have. I know we have a couple times as a team, but we've watched film on that game pretty much all summer, and that was kind of our drive and our motivation. You know, becoming the team that we were or that we are, and you know, it still motivates us to this day. And you know, you appreciate experiences like that because you know these guys were freshmen and they were young and they didn't know what they came into it. They didn't know what to expect. You know, coming to the tournament. And you know, now they know what it feels like, you know, just in March Madness, you never know. You can be beaten on any given night. You got to respect everybody. Everybody's here for a reason, and you know, like I said, they've been through it. So now that they know how it feels, you know, I believe it's going to drive not only them but you know our team. So.
Yeah, Mike Carter, General Career. Zach and Trey, is there a part of you that's looking forward to getting away from Big Ten teams who know your every move and know everything about you guys, that maybe you get a little bit more freedom down low?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one thing that we kind of said going into March Madness in the Big Ten. Like most teams have been playing the same style of basketball for like 30 years now, so everyone knows exactly how each other plays. Everyone knows the sets that they run. So getting out of that, and kind of teams have to do playoffs on like a 2 or 3 day schedule. It's going to be a lot different. It's going to be a lot more things that are kind of open, just because people don't have all that time to prepare for us. It's tough. I mean, it's hard to simulate some of the pieces that we have on this team. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just kind of getting that fresh feel that we had at the beginning of the season before we started the Big Ten play.
Brad Brown, WRTV in Indianapolis. Trevion, you played on a team that made a deep turning run. What have you shared or what can you share with these guys about what it takes to navigate these next couple of weeks for something like that?
I mean, like you said, I have been a part of it. You know, as a freshman, I didn't play that much, but you know, when my number was called, you know, I had energy. You know, I was ready to go, and you know, these guys are different as they both start now. And you know, as a freshman, I was on the bench, and I was coming off the bench, I should say. But you know, one thing I always try to tell those guys is, you know, try to respect every team, and just have most importantly, just have fun, man. This is the best time of year. You know, this is the time where you should have fun. It's the time when you come together with your team and really trust each other. You know, I don't say much, but one thing I do say, I just always tell them to have fun. You know, Jaden and Zach, I tell them before every game, you know, don't worry about anything else out on the court, just have fun. That's it. So.
Jaden, for you again. Dennis, can I ask two, or do I? Go ahead. Greg Doyle, any star, Trevion, really quickly, and Jaden, I'm going to know what you said, maybe you gave it later. Trevion, really quickly, you said you watched that film a lot, North Texas. Is that your choice, or Painter wants you guys to watch it?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. Coaches, we've had times where Coach will pull us in the film room and, we'll watch a couple clips. I know when we started our first set of like summer workouts, Coach had us watching that film. And, in summer you're like, well, the season's not here, so what are we watching film on? And it kind of made me wonder. And the first thing he pulled out was the North Texas film. And, that's something you don't expect as a player. Obviously it was heartbreaking to go through. It was a hard pill to swallow, man. But that's something he started out with in summer. He wanted to kind of build that foundation and let guys know, here's what we are and here's what we need to do to get better from it. And I've obviously watched my own film. I couldn't stop thinking about it after the loss. I think I watched it every other week after. And it was just, like I said, it was a hard pill to swallow. Because I truly believe in our team, and I know we're better than that. So.
Jay, you guys are in one game at a time, I would assume, but still, there is a big picture here. Are you allowed to talk about what your big picture goal is? Like, you guys arrived here, what's going to make a successful month?
Obviously, we have the big picture. As a national championship, everyone dreams and has goals of winning the national championship. But you just have to approach it one game at a time. I'm ready to hoop for real. I don't like waiting, to play games. But I'm ready to hoop and I'm ready to be going with my team.
Steve McGarty, Associated Press. For Jaden, I was just wondering what you remember about playing on that under-19 team with James Jones, the Yale coach, last summer. Anything sticks out about him or anything like that?
Actually texted me, I think a couple of weeks ago. He just said, good luck with the rest of the season and, you're doing well. And, I appreciate Coach Jones. He taught me a lot. Just, from an emotional standpoint, I'm an emotional type player, on the court, and, he just said, just keep a positive attitude about you, and, Coach Jones is a great coach, and, I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Shane, you will be right with Wish TV again. I told you I caught up with your mom yesterday for a little bit before they were heading out to their tournament game. She told me they scheduled practice tomorrow from 11 to 1 so she can watch you. She packed her Purdue shirt. I also talked to Coach Painter about it. He said you guys are going to try and watch their game on Saturday, but he actually admitted that he thinks you play a little bit better when your mom is in the stands, and it's unfortunate she can't be there, but how are you guys, I guess, embracing each other, embracing your separate opportunities while both going dancing at the same time?
We're just super blessed to just, be in this position, and, I just think, it's just what God's done for us, to put us in this position. Both of us are in March Madness right now. We're doing what we love to do. It's just a blessing. And, obviously I'm not going to have her in the stands, but, I know, she's going to be rooting for me and I'm going to be rooting for her. So, and, I don't want to see her. I want to see her go far. So I don't want to see her in the stands. And, I know she doesn't want to see me in the stands. So, I'm just, so blessed to be here. I know she's, super excited, to get her journey started too, so.
For Zach and Travion again, is it easier or harder to play in the post against smaller guys as opposed to your kind of traditional 6'10", 7-foot guys? You see more in the Big Ten. They don't necessarily have to worry about squashing.
Honestly, it's a little tougher, because you kind of got to worry about guys flopping, and I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but I don't know. Just teaches you to be physical with everybody. I would say with the smaller guys, it's different. You got to worry about. We're so big, and those little guys kind of get under us, and they try to get into us, take our ball. So I would say it's tougher with the little guy, whereas with a big dude, you can kind of bang a little bit and be as physical as you want. And but that's just how things are. With smaller guys, they sit in doubles a lot. So it just prepares you for whatever they throw at you. So
yeah, it's definitely a lot different. obviously when you have smaller guys on you, the other team will prepare, like they know that, so they'll send double teams at you. They'll tell their guys to try to sell some fouls, and you have to really watch like what you're doing with your arms. And even sometimes when you do nothing wrong, they just fall over and you get a foul anyways. Just because they're smaller, they're allowed to do a lot of different stuff to you, but it's just a different game. And obviously, it's easier to get deep post position. It's easier to back them down, but you just have to worry about it's a completely different game, really, when you're playing a small guy.
Then for Jaden, for as much as we're talking about getting the ball inside, you guys have been really good all year in transition. Is there anything you guys have to do or want to do to, kind of get out in the open floor a little bit more? Is it about forcing turnovers? Is it about mentality? What's kind of the secret sauce there?
I think the biggest thing is getting rebounds, and I think we did a good job against Iowa. I think we won the rebound battle, but we had turnovers, and I think when we cut the turnovers and just make the simple reads, and that just opens up a lot of transition for us to be going.
Last one. WRTV again. Trevion, this is also serious, but we often see some smiles come from the guys. Who's the guy on this team that relaxes it, kind of breaks the mood, or kind of keeps things a little bit light when you guys need a moment to just kind of relax?
I don't know, man. I guess I can say myself. I try to be positive all the time. With this season and just everything going on, man, you constantly have stuff just coming at you, coming at us as a team, and I try to be that guy, that voice. I try to keep everybody level-headed, try to keep everybody happy, smiling. Even this dude, he tries to, when he gets in game mode, he's like straight face. Like, I just tell him when he's out there, man, just have fun. I try to tell him to smile all the time. This dude too. I don't know, man. I guess you can say I'm the guy, and I've kind of accepted that role on our team. Just being an energy guy, being positive, being happy. It does more than you think, and I think they appreciate it. So I try to, it's also something I've learned to do. Something I've grown into. I used to be the quiet guy on the team. I was always to myself, and as I grew up and as I got more mature, I found out that that's kind of being selfish. Because as a team, you should be able to open up and talk to guys and be honest with them, and I don't know, just keep them level-headed. So, like I said, it's something I've grown into, but I've definitely accepted it as a senior and as a leader on the team.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. Good luck tomorrow.